Bonza! Let me tell you, fam, I have been enjoying the heck out of Dinkum these past few weeks. So let's go ahead and explain what Dinkum is. Dinkum is a hybrid gaming experience, a Thanksgiving plate stacked so high, full of Minecraft mashed potatoes and My Time at Portia candied yams and even a slice of Stardew Valley turkey. And hey, what's better to wash that down than a tall glass of pigeon milk Animal Crossing inspiration? This game just hits all the right notes for me. I love the combat. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. And yes, Stardew Valley, Rune Factory, and a couple other games in the life sim genre have combat, but in this game, it just feels more brutal, more satisfying. Nothing is scarier than having an alpha boss crocodile rush you down and then use an earthquake style attack that's something straight out of Tales of Symphonia. This game is absolutely off the wall, completely absurd, but I love it. It's silly, it's nonsense, and it's one of the best games I've played in a long time. To note some of the negative sides of Dinkum, the game is clearly far from optimized, not only because of early access, but it's one developer. Give the man a break. He definitely needs some time to make the game as optimized as it could be as far as modern day game standards are concerned. Otherwise, the game has a couple quirky visual bugs here or there, and a couple maybe even more game breaky bugs that people have experienced. At the end of the day, this game is held together pretty well, certainly better than some of the AAA titles that have released games in the past, and even some of the more recent games. Not calling you out, Cult of the Lamb, just saying, talk about a dumpster fire as far as video game releases are concerned. When it comes to drawbacks, there's not too much to mention outside of the lack of optimization for the game itself. Some of the quirkiness as far as the sounds are concerned is definitely something I'm not a big fan of. Some sound effects are way louder than other sound effects, and it seems like it's a proximity system to where if you're really close to an oven, it'll make a louder noise than if you were further away from it. But this provides for very janky feeling audio, and it can become a problem not only again for me as a streamer, but maybe your average gamer. You're listening in headphones and you go to bust the rock open with a pickaxe and your ears start to bleed down the side of your face. But then, you're maybe trying to turn the game up to hear the wonderful OST and the wonderful soundtrack that the game provides. So I think aside from a little bit of sound optimization, and as far as the gameplay and the video goes, a little bit of optimization there could definitely help Dinkum along its journey here, but maybe a couple visual bugs and a couple game breaky bugs here or there. Nothing really worth mentioning, and definitely nothing that holds back this title from being one of the better games I've played in a very, very long time. I mentioned the soundtrack, and I definitely think it's worth going into a little bit further, but holy heck is the soundtrack for Dinkum a delight in every way. Not only does it go along well with the atmospheric sounds and what the game brings to the table in general when it comes to sound effects and the little critters chirping and the birds are flapping, but it's such a delight. You could listen to it outside of the game, and I'm sure you would find some solace in your day. It's just such a delightful soundtrack and really well curated video game music. And I'm all about the video game music and the sound engineering and the effort put into games. So I really enjoy that side of Dinkum as well, and totally worth mentioning. The slow life approach that Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing has nailed down has just had a breath of fresh air blown into it. A spark of life jolted into the soul of the genre. Dinkum is one of the most ambitious titles to come out of 2022. It's done by one developer. That's it. One man, James Bendon, and a developer out of Australia. And I'll tell you, they've taken the life sim genre and flipped it on its head. They poked it profusely with spears and bashed it over the head with cudgels barbed with crocodile teeth. This is definitely one of the best genre benders that have been released ever. Honestly, there hasn't been a shakeup into the slow life sim genres of games like this since Stardew Valley. And that's saying a lot, because Stardew Valley changed the landscape for these style games for the better. and it's never been the same ever since. And I think Dinkum is on the same exact level as Stardew, really making us question what we should be expecting of these life sims, these farming sim style games, the slow living style games. Dinkum hits you from every angle when it comes to the slow life living style gameplay. There's everything from terraforming to quest to task to relationships to farming to fishing. There's even vehicles, a freaking helicopter to zip around your island on. It is absolutely insane how jam-packed this game is. There's animals to take care of, chooks, which is apparently an Aussie term for chickens, wombats that you can milk, and a platypus sheep for you to shear. It's absolutely off the wall how bizarre, how bonza this game really is, and I'm here for it. I'm in love. All this together creates a very overwhelming experience, but an also very endless feeling experience in which there's always something to be done, always something to do. Even right when you walk out the gate, the island is procedurally generated, meaning that everyone's island is different. I'm not too sure if it's on a seed system. I'm not sure if we have any answers or if there any information out there regarding this, but it's basically a seed system akin to Minecraft. So everyone's island's completely different, how it generates the biomes, the shape of it, where the rivers are, where the different outlying islands are, all completely different per your save file, meaning that you're always guaranteed to get a different experience when you load the game up. And when you play with your friends in the co-op features that goes up to 4 players, you're always guaranteed to get a different experience when you visit their islands, and you can compare and contrast from yours. Plus, as I mentioned, terraforming, at the end of the day, you can reshape and mold the island any way you want. So you have just this feeling of unlimited freedom in this game. And I really think that the grand scheme of the gameplay, single player as well as multiplayer, really provides hours and hours and hours of an endless gameplay experience. This game is phenomenal. I can't say it enough. And the fact that it's still in early access blows me away, leaves me absolutely shook. The idea that this game could get more content over the years, and I believe there is a roadmap already kind of laid out there and available. The developer has talked about all the different content that they want to add to the game, so it's nowhere near done, nowhere near completed. The idea of that has raised the bar of expectations that I have when it comes to these fresh indie games, specifically in early access. I think that this is really a showing of what is possible and what is worth your money. This is a $20 game on Steam, and I'm telling you, it is probably one of the most jam-packed experiences in early access that we have seen as gamers in a long time. I think Dinkum has a very bright future, and I'm here for it every step of the way. I'll be keeping an eye on this game over these next few years, looking forward to see what content releases and where the developer ends up taking the game that's already so jam-packed with content from here. I give this game an 8.5 out of 10. And I think that this game deserves maybe even more down the road, so we'll potentially take another look at it. But that's a wrap. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.